This is the color of enlightenment and divine protection. And even though black is one of the connections of the divine, of total protection, whether that individual knows it or not, the gold also is there for it in one essence. But it says that one being guided by the highest good, and it has a divine guidance. The divine guidance is by Makaya or Shekinah Ayah. The thing is, the protection, the wisdom, inner knowledge, and other stuff that deal with bringing forth an individual who does these qualities. Now you get into the silver. Now, what happens is that they imitate this in the Olympics with the circles, and they say you have a gold, you have a silver, and you have a bronze, I believe, which represent bronze, which is really copper in the Bible, okay? All right, now, we know that copper is a conductive form and is used for healing. When they did the serpent and Moses and etc., they had a copper or a snake or a serpent, etc. You can move that chair out the way. So the silver is the one that deals with abundance, both spiritual and physical. And the bright silver can reflect, and it deals with money and certain other factors. But this money can be connected to sometimes where they, the ones who are fallen and controls the ways of things are, they mock us and they say, hey, because this individual is this and that, and because he did something negative, he became a traitor, we'll give him 13 pieces of silver to represent that he went away from the 13 new moons and defaced Ayah's people in spirit. Now you understand. They know what they're doing. The bright metallic silver is the receptor to new ideas. In other words, the renewing of the spirit. So what happened is that's where you connect into the silver cord, dealing with the connection of the line. And I don't know if I can do this one. I think that's correct. Now, I'm going to move a little faster though. In the indigo, they have a people, they call it the indigo people, relates to the third eye, which I teach and show that it's really your right eye and connects to the pineal gland and etc., the pituitary gland. The intuitive and sensitive and deep-feeling individual, and an individual that sees things and sees spirits. So this individual is of the indigo. And the indigo, they have a book called Indigo People, and it doesn't really emphasize that, but they're telling that like the children of the corn and etc. But these people are very spiritual. And then you have in the next one where you have the dirty brown. The dirty brown is where people are beginning to have a structure that is becoming muddy. And the muddy, murky feeling is a negative emotion feeling that brings on negative essence and insecurities. So whatever those negative feelings are, the person or the individual will begin to say, hey, I don't because of A, B, and C. I feel this, and they begin all of a sudden become paranoid, addicted to behavior, etc. Then the dirty gray, what it means overlay or layers, is where you connect to where you're being, where it begins to block the energies. Because the gray is the basis for white, and the white blocks the black, and the black waves become a gray color. And these block the energies of the 7 spiritual centers, and the chakras become more predominant in the factor of your being. And the reason for that is because the prana chakras come into place of the bitchology, where you should have Shekinah Yah and the essence of wisdom and understanding in the 22 letters. But because you don't have the connection to the 7 sacred letters, you are blocking it. And because of certain things that you've done, you become unprotected. Then you see where you see another individual where they become, let's say, brown. The brown individual is where they are negative, distracting, and you'll say, but don't be healed. Yes?
So would somebody or someone with a twin spirit
Yes.
Would they colors like be like gray, like the dirty gray overlay with brown?
It could be in a multiple 7 layers like the rainbow body, but they will be all the negative colors, the gray, the murky gray, the brown, the red, the dirty orange, the amber, and the dirty light blue. And these will be the layers of the individual. And the reason for it is because each demon or the spirit connects to that and makes the individual there. What happens afterwards, if they start connecting stronger, like in the movie, what is it, The Three Faces of Eve or whatever, and then the other one where they show the multiples of where this girl had like 7 to 12 different personalities. You can have those, and when they're saying personality, they're saying really in short, demons or demonic spirits.
So,
yes.
so like when an individual is connected to Ayah, and I'm saying Ayah because of Shayakayana and the powers and spirits,
Yes.
if they physical vessel is connected to Ayah and they exhibit a certain vibration with like, let's say they stones and the metals, you know what I'm saying? Can't that bring out like how you can see like a twin spirit on the individual? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you take a glass of water and then you take some ink and you pour the ink into the water, the water becomes the color of the ink.
That's correct.
So what I'm saying is
like Kool-Aid.
right. So if an individual is connected to Ayah like strongly and they have a certain stones and they metals with them, if they out here in the field or whatever and they come into contact with other spirits, beings or what have you, their vibration can bring out in terms of like somebody might be hiding who they really are, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Can't that bring it out is what I'm trying to say, that vibration. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like how they say like positive, so-called negative. When they come together, they sort of create like a stalemate or the yin and yang type of theory. You understand what I'm saying?
In that, where I'm coming from, where you're coming from, it creates what they call a flux.
Mm-hmm.
The flux of energy from a high positive spiritual individual to a negative individual creates an energy field. And in that energy field, it enhances and brings that energy out of that individual.
So it's obvious, is what it becomes obvious.
But it's also, the individual has to be careful because the negative individual feeds off of positive energy. That's why they come and touch individual. And like I gave an example of the southern white man having his feet on the little black boy and soaking up all his energies, so do the negative individual that has the many layers of negative colors and energies. So even though you approach and begin to see this multi-layer demonic or shadow walker, not a light walker,
Right.
you remember your 3-foot perimeter so you don't give strength and light to your enemy. Okay. And in that light and energy of the auroric field, you're blessed, Ashara with understanding of how to see, and they say a war, and the war means light, but really, in really researching, the R is questionable now. Very so, because a lot of things with the R and the WA are inputs from the Vedic condition. So our, because then we're dealing with our structure. But then the light itself comes in layers too, and they have strength. In this strength that you have is defined and given strength once again by love, Ahabaya. In that love in itself, this is why Jeremiah said, and this is why many black guys talk about saying, I am black. But black, when Jeremiah says, I am black, he's talking about his auroric spirit. And his spirit being black, like a black hole, is of true essence and spirituality and well protected. And that black with the gold and the indigo wrapping is a high spiritual individual. And that's why even in the Bible, when the common guy called Elijah, when he was dead, that's why I showed the lynching, they still took his power. Where a man, he was buried in an open grave, and where a man became alive and other people were helping. and they had the people that watch had that